All right. Into the rares and mythics, which it's interesting, though not that surprising that the majority of swords are actually rare and mythics just because swords are cool.
There's not that many mythic swords, though. Just because mythic as a rarity that is new, you know?
Yep. Number one on this list is Aegis of the Meek.
Aegis shouldn't be used like this.
Nope. And it's kind of like it is a reference. This is what like I think like Sword of the Meek is referencing.
Probably, yeah, because it's cares about 1/1 creatures. It adds +1/+2, but Aegis is specifically refers to shield or armor.
So I'm pretty sure that the Aegis of the Meek is actually the stone in the hilt.
Oh man, if
that's my belief on this, which makes me I don't think this should actually be ranked.
Yeah, all right. I think I'm
I'm willing to accept that. Yeah,
I think I'm with you just because Arkham Dagson is like weird, like artificer dude. So I'm with you.
Okay, yeah, let's just skip over rating it entirely.
Disqualified.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Well, you need dishonorable mention, but
dishonorable mention. Yeah.
Whatever.
Next on this list is Blade of Selves. It's a sword that when you attack with, it makes more of you to stab other dudes. See, this is a good take on the crystal sword look.
Yeah, it looks like a weird glass sword.
I was going to say, is it a physical
sword.
Thing?
It might not be.
Like,
it's definitely a magic sword.
I like the fact that it's like also kind of like glass implies a sense of like seeing yourself through it and kind of refracting yourself like light.
It's like a prism.
Yeah. It's a prism for seeing more of you to attack other dudes.
Oh no, I'm trapped in a prism sword.
I'm attacking in 7 colors.
Attacking 7 colors.
I'm trying to read like the plaque above it. I realized you can't actually do it.
I mean, I was going to say that's not a language, so you can try.
I have no perspective on how big this is. It's probably pretty big.
It's probably pretty big.
Average sword length.
If we're going to assume that, sure.
But yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
I like this. I think it's neat. It's a neat take on swords. It does interesting.
It's been found in a cave, it looks like, which is a pretty sword-like thing.
Yeah, it's a magic sword that someone found. That's good.
And it's got a unique ability.
And also, when you swing it, like 7 more of you show up. It's basically the 4 sword.
Yeah.
Pretty much is.
Now I'm really into it. Now I'm super into it.
Yeah.
You referenced the thing I like, and therefore I like it.
Clap when you see the thing you know.
Yay, reference. It's the lowest form of humor. Is it better than Banshee's Blade? Yes.
Yes. Because it makes more friends for you.
Yeah, and those friends are me. And that's great.
I don't think it's better than Seal of the Godhead, though. I think that's like exactly where it lies.
I disagree. Like, I like this better than
I like it better than Seal of the Godhead.
Really?
Like,
okay.
I could generate, like, I could fight like 7 different hippos at once with this.
Well, I mean, every single one.
The hippo would destroy every one of them.
There's no plus whatever here. That sword is not going to help you against those hippos.
Shit, you're right.
Yeah,
I would get 7 different versions of me would it feed 7 hippos.
Also, the way Myriad works, it would only be
1 for 1. You would have to be 1.
You would have to have more hippos, and then the hippos would destroy each copy.
Yeah.
Each one of me would be killed by a different hippo.
Yeah.
This is very much a non-combat sword in a lot of ways because it's made of glass.
Yeah.
It's magic.
It doesn't actually make you better than fighting at all. In fact, it just makes you able to fight more things at once.
Okay.
That's pretty rad.
It's pretty rad, but also now I think it's probably below Steel the Godhead.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's exactly where it lies. Above Banshee's Blade.
Okay. Yeah.
Destroyed by many hippos.
Dishonorable mention
next is another dishonorable mention. Blade of the Blood Chief, which is not a sword. There are no swords with a little extra blade on the bottom except for hook swords, and they're not that long.
It's 2 knives on the end of a stick.
Yeah. But what if it's like a double-bladed lightsaber, but it's
that's not a thing. Shut up.
Double-bladed lightsabers also would be terrible.
But they would still be swords.
No, they wouldn't. They would you would have to come up with a different term entirely for that.
I can't wait for someone to find an example of this in art being used as a sword and it being sword length. So
If someone can find if someone can find a piece in a manual or a tapestry or whatever, which has someone using something that looks like this, we will do it in an errata video.
Like a historic damn thing. Don't give us like a Chrono Cross screen cap or anything.
Yeah. Need a historical piece of art.
Never give me a Chrono Cross screen cap. That's just facts about life.
It's true.
Next on the list is Celestial Sword. Speaking of clockish swords.
Yep.
So this is
a weird ass rapier. It's like a cubist rapier. Look at it.
I'm sorry.
It is. That's basically what it is.
It's a sword that somebody built gears into. So if you use the sword, eventually you get pulled into the gears because you're dumb.
See,
so
I
tell
was
me that the gears are part of the sword.
Yes.
Okay.
See, I was viewing
I've
this.
decided that. That's why you get killed if you use it.
See, what I've been thinking is that the sword is actually like mounted on the gears, and the gears are mounted on like a wall. And what it's actually doing is that you go up to it and you pay 3 mana, and the sword is actually in a lower position than this, and then it flicks you. Essentially, flicks you in the air at a dude, and you crash into him. Your skull breaks and you die, but hopefully you kill a thing.
So you're saying it's a pinball flipper?
Yes.
It's Sonic the Hedgehog spinball.
Yes, and the fact that it's a sword is almost like coincidence.
Himmelschwert. That's the name of this card in German. This is another weird old style equipment that is bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I like space, but I don't like the sword.
And that's not space back there either. That's
Celestial.
I mean, sure, but that what in the world is that red stuff? That looks like it's in a wall.
I mean, this is an old style artifact. You can't really go off that because what the hell's going on in all the Mothman art?
This thing
That's
sucks.
true.
Almost any Dan Fraser artifact is
I
this background.
I don't like this thing like at all. Like I don't know, like
I think it's kind of neat looking, like as an art piece.
Sure,
but I don't like pretty much anything else about it, and I don't even like the design of the sword that much because it's got the weird cubist look to the blade, where it's got like the extra like things coming out of it.
Sure,
because that's not like colors going down.
But you can tell it's sharp because it's sparkling at the very end.
That's true. It's keen. That's a keen edge right there.
I don't know. I like it. I think.
Where do we put Celestial Sword?
Below, above Unsold Scimitar, and that's it.
Wow, that's doing Veterans Sidearm dirty.
It is. I feel like, I feel like we did Veteran Sidearm dirty to start with.
No,
but we can't go back.
We can't. No, the science we've proven. You can't.
Yeah, that's facts.
We can't go back. But
I mean, personally, I would say it's more the sense of Celestial Sword should be like, I don't know, above Taunus's weaponry.
I feel like, yeah,
that's fair. I'm willing to do that too.
That's keeping it in its place. Low.
All right, talking about swords.
Death Render. Death Render.
Death Render. Eggman wants the Kaiser roll with a little.
Stop it. No.
Sorry. I can't help it. Death Render.
You can, but anyways.
So this has the fork blade, but it's going down further.
Yeah, I like fork blades. Fork blades are cool.
I don't like fork blades but if they're like start with
magical.
It and they don't turn into a fork halfway through, I'm more okay with it.
Okay, so this sword is really sharp. Like it will friggin' cut you in half. Also, it will cut death in half.
Yeah,
that's all swords. Though.
That's so
swords
cool.
Swords, but not death itself.
Like this cuts a dude out of the afterlife. That's cool as hell.
This can render death into leather and other material goods.
All right, fair enough.
You basically, when you die, you fall on your own blade, such that like either you come back or someone that the sword likes better comes back. It's like, all right, I'm dying. Sword, you better save me. And Sword's like, I'm saving Jeremy.
I mean, mechanically, no. I think Death Render's fantastic.
Death Render's cool.
It's great.
Death Render looks cool.
I wish it didn't fork.
Forking is cool.
I mean, that's how the magic works.
It's a magic sword.
Magic sword, but like if it just didn't have a fork at the end, like
forks are cool.
If it just, actually came to a single point, it would be super
That's
rad.
why the point is there. It's to catch Death Scythe.
Exactly. It's so you can break it like a Jeet.
Jite.
No, I mean like this weapon I just made up called a Jeet.
Ah,
Sure,
okay.
okay.
Well, Jeets are.
It looks exactly like a Jite, but pronounced different.
Gotcha. Deathrender's pretty dope.
Cool.
I have my hang up with fork sword things, but here's the thing. If I actually stick with that too heavily down this rare path, I'm going to
you're going to be a
gonna
monster.
Get destroyed.
Significant problem. Yeah.
Especially because the swords are cool.
Deathrender's all right.
I like it better.
This is like the opposite of Banshee's Blade.
Kind of is, yeah.
It's a sword that eats death.
Yeah, instead of a sword that
eats your wallet to death.
And also death.
It eats your wallet to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it better than Banshee's Blade.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like it better than Blade of the Selves.
That's also fair.
I like it better than Steel of the Godhead.
I don't like it better than Trusty Machete.
Like they're two very different things. Trusty Machete is a very functional, like workman's blade, whereas Deathrender is absolutely not.
Deathrender is the sword. Deathrender is absolutely a magic sword used by some lich, basically.
Like someone. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, Deathrender being in a final actory. Oh man,
kind of is, yeah.
But the thing is, as far as swords go, I like my swords to be there and like be a pal at all times. And Deathrender probably is really standoffish and doesn't really like you very much.
I mean, I don't think it can talk. It's a sword.
Yeah, it's just a sword. I don't think it necessarily has an opinion on anything. It just cuts. Yeah, like what the hell's wrong with you? It's just a sword, my dude.
That's what you think.
Swords are swords.
Wow. I'm actually.
I think, yeah, it's right around there.
I'm grappling with Trusty Machete at the moment.
I mean, be careful. That blade's very sharp.
It is, but so is Deathrender. I'm fine.
Yeah, just don't grapple with it too hard.
Wow. I like it better than Trusty Machete.
All right.
Yeah, I can go with that. I also like it better than Pirate's Cutlass, to be honest.
I feel like same, but I don't like it more than Sword of the Meek.
Sure. All right. I can accept that.
Okay. Put it up there.
That was a tough one.
Deathrender.
I think that's the problem right now, Sonic.
Next on this list is Ghostfire Blade.
I really like the idea of an invisible flaming sword.
It's so freaking cool.
It's a really cool idea. Also, you can clearly tell that the design of this sword is actually just like a Dao. It's a pretty basic sword design. It just also happens to be on fire and invisible.
I really like the flavor of that. The fact that, yeah, it's just made of Ugin's Ghostfire, which is cool.
Ugin's Ghostfire is really weird.
Yeah.
Don't forget it has two arts.
Yes, and it does have the art from Khans of Tarkir and also the art from
the Ugin's fake reprints from Fate Reforged.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, the two arts are very similar for what it's worth.
Almost like a Divergent Timeline or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I like it.
I think Ghostfire Blade is super dope as an idea. Just like it's like it got those qualities of, man, this sword can levitate, this sword it like dances around and all that stuff, but its qualities are is invisible, is on fire, is made of fire, you know?
Be careful about dropping it.
Man, it's so cool.
How do they store it?
In a sheath.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's not actually burning their hand, you know?
Yeah, it is. Look at the art. It's just that he's magically like the whole thing. Remember of like the fires and the flames. At least in terms of like the Jeskai, was a sense of like mastery of the flames. Like was kind of a magical thing. I realize it's a Teamer dude. You're a Tarka dude, but yes. But that was the philosophical thing they were talking about though with that. Like, because you have like those blood fire mentors and such.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know where to
Bloodfire's
put
a whole different thing, but
Yeah, but
I
yeah.
don't really know where to put this though. Like I think it's super cool. It's
I
up
think
there, but
it's a sword.
mm,
It's cool. What's the dislike? It's cool. It's a sword. And
really
if
cool.
you're shrouded in dragon magic, it's easier to wield.
It's true.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, because it's a 1 mana 2/2/2 if you are colorless.
Yeah.
Man, where does this go? I'm putting it above Deathrender.
I do like Ghostfire Blade a lot. Like do I like it better than Deathrender?
I like it better than Sword of the Meek.
Say again?
I like it more than Sword of the Meek.
That's kind of where I'm at, but
Like,
also I kind of like it more than Wall of Swords.
I'm willing
I'm
to put it
kind
above
of
Wall
with you.
Swords.
I like
Yeah.
it's partially just because I like Ugin, to be completely honest, but
That's fine reason.
Now hold on, we're not done. I think I like it more than Edge of Divinity as well.
whoa.
That
Yeah.
I'm not with that one.
Let me think about
Like
this.
they're both pretty similar from a like pure aesthetic standpoint, but they're also very different from the exact same standpoint.
Yeah, like Ghostfire Blade is like a normal sword.
Well, so is Edge of the Divinity. The Edge of the Divinity is just a normal greatsword with all the black gunk going around it.
That's
Blade,
the part that's cool as hell.
Yeah, Ghostfire Blade is a normal Dao that is invisible and made of fire.
Yeah, which I feel like one of them by definition has to look cooler.
I think the invisible sword looks cooler with like how it
That's
affects the
impossible.
environment.
Impossible.
No, look. Okay, how the sword affects everything around it looks cooler.
Sure.
And that is being caused by the sword, so it counts as equality.
Let me look at Edge of Divinity some more.
I guess maybe just refresh yourself on it, but like I genuinely think it goes above Edge of the Divinity. I think this is my number 2.
Yeah, they are very similar. Like they are very close in different ways. I have to say, I think I like the flavor of Ghostfire Blade better.
Yeah,
I gotta go with the Edge of Divinity.
Well, I'm afraid you've been beat
That's fine.
with a Ghostfire Blade.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not colorless, so it does cost 3 to equip it. I don't have 3 mana. Are you kidding?
In this economy.
In this economy.
Next on this list is an honorable mention for once. It's Godsend. So Godsend used to be a sword, but it was turned into a spear. Ergo, disqualified.
Yeah, it is no longer a sword, but it used to be one.
Yeah, the fact that the blade was originally a short sword, the fact that she extended the handle makes it now a spear. I'm sorry,
Well,
it's
Helion
facts.
extended it, but
Well,
Yeah,
yes,
because Heliod's sacred symbol was a spear, and therefore, so on and so
he
forth.
didn't. He didn't even make this blade. He's just stealing. Perforos made this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have blessed it, but like that's not hard. Get off your
Yeah.
ass, Heliod.
You leave Helios alone. You do not leave Heliod alone. Screw that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next on this list is Oathkeeper Takenos Daisho.
Now this is a much cooler equipment for Kamigawa.
Yeah, this is cool.
It's
got both of them.
dope-looking swords. Yeah, it's a katana and a wakizashi pair right here.
Which is cool.
You can tell it's the katana because the blade is edge up in its stand right there.
sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. It's good. I like the combo.
Yep.
The fact that if you die, your blade is, or if your blade dies, you are forced to also die because of dishonor. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
But it also keeps samurai alive in its own way, just unequipped.
Takeno also found Oathkeeper in the swamps.
Yeah, it's a good place to
So-
find a pair of
Wow,
swords.
swamp swords.
Yeah.
If you look at Rag Dealer, it actually talks about it.
Digging out a couple of swords from a swamp is actually that's pretty classical, you know?
After General Takeno found Oathkeeper amidst the bamboo marshes, more scavengers braved the swamps Nezumi, Oni, and Kami in hopes of glory.
Man, they just convince everyone else to go ahead and try to find their own cool
Oathkeeper is
swords.
that cool.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's 2 swords, too. That's like 2 swords are definitely part of a pair.
They wield 2 swords. 2 swords.
2 swords.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good card, especially if
It's
you
good.
equip it on a samurai.
It looks cool. It's 2 swords.
2 swords.
I like it better than... Well, let's just start reasonable. Let's start at, like... I think it's better than... Flowstone Blade.
Yep, agreed.
Yes.
Easy.
Better than Banshee's Blade, I would say, probably.
Yes.
Yep.
Is it better than Blade of Cells?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
So better than Blade of the Godhead? I'd say so, yes.
Better than Seal the God. I'll say so too.
I like magical floating blades, don't get me wrong, but...
Talking about...
Here's
the thing.
Go ahead.
I think it's also better than Trusty Machete, purely from a standpoint, I don't think there's anything trustier than something that's keeping you alive, so long as you keep your honor.
Yeah, and it is also like pretty cool, like the samurai flavor going on in general, on both like abilities. I think it's neat.
This is very samurai. No
Yeah.
question about that.
I like it better than Pirate's Cutlass.
I do like it a lot, and I do like Pirate's Cutlass. Here's the thing. I think at this point, I like both of those cards basically the same.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing. I think at this point, we're comparing Oathkeeper to Deathrender.
Okay, so you're willing to put it above Pirate's Cutlass?
Yes.
All right.
They both
But
run death.
Yeah.
They rent death in completely different ways. Oathkeeper will keep you alive so long as you're still a samurai. But also you have
Deathrender
to,
will
equip it again.
Deathrender will also keep you alive no matter what, but also it could
Yeah.
grab your friend Jimothy.
I think that means that Deathrender's Jimothy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Deathrender. Deathrender. Jiminy's main arm. Jiminy. Whoops.
Jiminy's a different guy. Nope.
Sorry.
We are
Jiminy
not
had
affiliated with that cricket.
Jiminy used it first to bring back Jimothy.
Deathrender,
Alright.
but why?
I feel like I like Deathrender more than Oathkeeper.
Yeah, I think with you.
Deathrender does basically Oathkeeper's job a little bit better. I like Oathkeeper aesthetically more, but you know that.
Yeah.
Next on this list is Stoneforge Blade. This is the token produced by the Commander version of Nahiri. It's
The
a
Lithomancer.
it's a indestructible blade made by a Stoneforge mage. It gives the equipped creature +5/+5 and double strike, and it has equip 0.
It's
This
literally,
is...
it's literally forged in stone.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, she's a
I mean, here's the secret about that is that, everything was stone once, basically, as far as metal goes.
yeah, but she actually
Forged it out of the rock where she
pulled
punches
this out of a rock.
She punches a rock so hard that it heats up, and a sword like basically gets pulled out, which is pretty dope.
Also, she can make lots of these.
Nahiri
Yeah.
can just pull a sword out of anything, and you know it. She can reach her
She
hand
can
and
pull a
shoot.
sword out of rock.
She
There's
could
a
reach her.
difference.
She could pull. No, here's the thing. I definitely know that Nahiri could just reach down into the floor right now and just pull
Yes.
out a sword from it.
Can't you
no
pull-
question.
But that's not.
Can't
She
she pull?
can't pull into a tree and do it.
Can't she pull a sword out of her mouth?
No.
Yes. If so
No.
long as she's eating enough rocks.
All right, enough.
You can't tell me that the core don't eat rocks.
They don't.
That's just racist. That's just racist against core. I will not stand this.
Okay, sorry. It's just Nahiri that eats rocks.
No.
Sure. That
But
broad is
Nahiri's
dumb as
wrath
rocks.
has her with a lot of these. So
Yes. I think these are cool.
This
I like-
thing looks cool. Yeah.
The idea of stone forging, I still say, is cool as hell. I'm glad they stuck with it because it's cool as hell. Not just because it's broken as hell on Stoneforge Mystic, but because it's cool as hell.
Yep.
Okay, so Stoneforge Mystic definitely eats a bunch of rocks too, and then just spits out.
No.
Stop. No. I
No.
reject this blatant attempt at making something dumb.
All right, fine. Stoneforge Blade is pretty cool. Where should I put it though?
It's better than Blade of Cells.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as Blade of Cells.
Okay.
I would put it above Banshee's Blade, but that's about it.
Ooh.
I would put it above Blade of Cells, but that's it.
Yeah, I like it better than Blade of Cells.
Okay.
This is how I
Kinda
feel.
do. It's
Like the act of creation, I think, is pretty cool.
Sure.
it has its own inherent flavor going on there just by being associated with Nahiri at all times, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just Nihira can just make these like a wizard, leave them around like shotguns.
Okay, everybody. I hope you're ready for the next hour. That's called Sword of Blank. All right. First off, Sword of Body and Mind.
Oh boy, Sword of Body and Mind.
Okay, so it's a sword that you swing and a wolf flies out of it.
Yeah,
That's dope
and
as
also
fuck.
Sword of Body and Mind is the best goddamn sword.
And it cuts a dude's brain.
Sword of the Body and Mind, you swing it, a wolf flies out of it, and also someone just like looks at the wolf and goes like, "What the hell?" And just they go crazy because of it.
Okay, yes, like conceptually.
That dude slashed a sword! A wolf!
That's cool. Okay, real quick, we have to reconcile this. There's two arts here. There's the Scars of Mirrodin sword, which, I will say, all of the swords here look better than the dumb Leonin scimitar crap.
Here's the thing about why I'm okay with the sword of X and Y
Double
is because it is very clearly two swords.
It's about duality, man.
Yeah, it's two swords that are just attached to a single hilt.
But how do
One
you
side's the angle, the other side's the devil.
Exactly.
Not yet. That's Sword of Light and Shadow, and you know it.
Yep. Sure.
Man, it's about
You should save the
duality.
joke. But what about the Kaladesh Inventions art?
It's fine.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. Like, I'm not excited about it. Like, I like how weird it is in terms of, like, I made a magic ether sword. It summons walls.
Why was he on walkie-talkie?
Because on Kaladesh. They got those.
Sure.
Tezzeret made them, weirdly enough.
But I like the Scars of Mirrodin art much better. Like, it's simple. Like, it's a simple art,
Yeah.
but it works very well.
It's all about the sword, too. I mean, on both of them, it obviously is, but
Swords, baby.
I really like basket hilts.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a basket hilt right there, and all of the swords of X and Y have them, and I love that.
All right, let's have an honest discussion here, though.
Yes.
Is it better than Dancing Scimitar?
It's a good question. So here's the thing.
Okay.
I'm willing to say yes, partially because of mechanics here. Sword of Body and Mind is the best sword of the Sword of X and Y's Unlimited.
I
The thing hits
feel
you twice, you're dead.
I feel like it's just slightly worse than Dancing Scimitar.
All right.
Red,
Yes.
I agree.
Okay.
I just, it's neat, but also, don't get me wrong, I appreciate a sword that just barfs out wolves. Also, it's it's also the blue-green one, which I am, of course,
Which, you're
I both like and also I hate, for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's pro blue green, so it's anti you as well.
Yes.
Yep.
But also, just Dancing Scimitar is just classy.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, when I say I think it's better, I think it's just slightly better. So I'm willing to I'm willing to go down for it.
Yep.
But also, it does slash a sword into slash a wolf into existence, and then someone just goes crazy because they saw that wolf.
Yep. Next on this list is a honorable mention. A bit, unfortunate. It's Sword of Dungeons and Dragons. I think this card is cool as hell. As far as swords go, I think it's cool as hell that it's actually a sword and a mace, and it rolls d20s, and everything about this is cool as shit. Don't get me wrong. Everything about this is like the coolest damn thing in the world.
5% of the time when you swing it, a dragon just shows up.
Yeah. Like, I love all this.
It also means that in the things that you could like pick colors in previous silver border games, you can now also choose gold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gold is a color type. The color now.
Yeah.
Yep. And the dragon token it creates is extremely good.
Yeah.
But like everything about this, I love, I adore it. But due to our own oath that we have to
Unsets
keep,
are honorable mentions.
Unsets are honorable mentions. There are okay. I will say there will potentially be exceptions to this in the future. This is not one of them.
Right. Yeah. I'm willing to say that too.
Whatever.
There are exceptions to this in the future. This does not meet it. I will say I love the fact that the Dungeons and Dragons logo is just in the handle.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good.
Yep. Next on this list, it's the Sword of Feast and Famine.
Man, I love Sword and Feast and Famine though.
Sword of Feast
Man.
and Famine's real good.
Yeah, it is.
Like all of it is like I like more than even like Sword of Body and Mind. I think the flavor of it is better. Like the discard and then you untap is like a very good black green ability. Like
You're sucking the life out of someone's brain.
Yeah.
or their body, I guess technically, and then
the
your
Kaladesh one is actually made out of living wood.
Yeah, like this is the one where I actually really like the Kaladesh art like a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. The Kaladesh one is my favorite.
It's super-
of the Kaladesh inventions. This is my favorite of the swords.
Yeah, it's got a very classy look. Like
Mhm.
it's artistic, but it also feels like a thing. Like I can't remember. I really do apologize for this, but I can't remember who it is on Magic Creative that actually made like a complete model of this.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put the actual embedded the image and then like her information or whatever. But like someone on the actual Wizards team made this thing because they're like, yo, check out this art. Also, I'm gonna go 3D print this thing, and it looked cool as hell. Like even in like this is a sword that was people saw and were cool. Like, yeah, this is cool enough. I have to make this.
On top of that, Sword of Feast and Famine is probably the strongest of the Sword of X and Ys.
It's certainly the most like broken.
Yeah, like it's just untap all lands you control is a huge effect.
Eh,
Black and green is actually a pretty
it is.
good
yeah.
set of protections.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't like it as much as Body and Mind.
Body Mind does slash a wolf into
It
existence.
grows-
Body of
wolf when you
Mine
swing.
does create a wolf, but I mean the thing is, the creation of wolf I'm into, but I actually like the look of like Feast and Famine.
It
more.
looks real cool, which is why I only barely like Body and Mind more. Because I do
I've-
think it's a cool looking sword too.
I really like the Feast and Famine. The Kaladesh invention art is the only one that I was like straight up samurai.
That's
the art-
honestly the one that I'm basically going off of.
like
It's
the
so rad.
yeah, like
I mean, I already thought the Body and Mind was better than Danzig Scimitar. I was going to put this above Danzig Scimitar as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you both on the same page, or you both think that's below
I like
Body
it
and Mind?
more than I like it less than Body and Mind.
Okay, how do you feel, MGCT?
I mean, same here. Again, I would
Alright.
I would still have played it my second myself, but yeah,
All right.
just barely. Like they're very
Yeah,
close.
like-
Feast and Famine and Body and Mind are incredibly close.
Honestly, the top three are insanely close to each other.
yeah.
Sure. It's an honor, which should even be a sword. Next on this list is Sword of Fire and Ice.
Okay?
And then this is like also
This one
the
has 3 arts.
yeah. There's first in Dark Steel.
Yeah.
And the Modern Masters one.
So
which
here's
is
a weird
rad.
one where the Modern Masters one is, I think, the one I like the most art wise.
Same as well.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, the art for the Kaladesh one's weird because it's also got
I-
a bunch of display pieces in it.
I just don't like how it looks. Like it's like a gauntlet, as far as I can tell. Like, where's the handle?
The handle, like, okay, do you see the glove looking thing? It's
Yes.
holding it. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I do see that.
Yeah, okay. I've been thinking like this
It's
was
holding
a
it.
gauntlet.
Yeah, so you got the blade, you fall down, you got the handle, the hilt, you've got like the grippy power glove thing that holds it, and then also the shoulder piece is the fuel for the ether.
Yeah, I still don't like it nearly as much. Like,
Right,
I
I
don't
agree.
like this.
No, the
how
Modern
that-
Masters art is amazing. Like the color on it is great.
Yeah, the Modern Masters art of Sword and Fire Knight is fantastic. And again, still basket hilt, still well actually in this case it's actually more like just a saber hilt, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
it's friggin' rad.
I'm gonna be bold here. Sword and Fire Ice.
Yeah.
I like it less than Ghostfire Blade.
Okay.
Mm.
I think I agree with you, weirdly enough. I like Sword of
Yeah.
Fire and Ice a lot. I think it's my third favorite sword. As far as like mechanics go, it's also probably it's probably the most fair one, I guess. Well,
I mean, no,
it's fun. I
it's like
think
2 for
Fire and
1s,
Ice is a fun card.
yeah.
It's a fun card.
Man, Sword of Fire and Ice is really good, but I think I agree with you. I like it a little bit less than Ghost Fireblade. Man, that's hard.
Right? Man.
How do you
Yeah,
feel,
'cause
Red?
here's the thing. I definitely
Otherwise-
don't like it as much as Body, Mind, or Feast and Famine.
I think I agree.
Yeah. This Fire Blade is really cool. Talking about fire swords, I think that one does it better, even though this is also an ice sword.
Yep. We're gonna suddenly curve left and talk about Sword of Caldra.
Okay.
It's really hard to talk about Sword of Caldra without also bringing up Shield and Helm of Caldra, for what it's worth.
No,
Sure.
no, it's not. It's a sword that can cut through anything.
But that's true too, yeah.
Yep, that's pretty cool. It's a Mirrodin sword from the original Mirrodin. That's not one of the swords of blank and blank. That doesn't look like crap. It's like they polished a Leonin scimitar to not look like garbage.
So,
Kinda.
It's true.
one of the things that I hate about this sword actually is its ability.
Mm-hmm.
If you kill the creature, it doesn't exile it because it's already in the graveyard when the ability triggers.
So it has to
It has to deal 5 damage to it at minimum and not kill it.
So it's like the equivalent of if you cut it down and it dies, it just dies. If you were to hit it with the pommel, it is erased from existence or knocked out, depending on how you want to flavor it.
No, it's just got to be, if it's big enough, I guess it just disappears.
Sure.
It's just weird.
It is a weird effect. Like I think that was probably unintentional, if I had to guess. That effect, it's just how it ended up being when
that's way more complex than it needs to be.
Right. Like they actually had to go back. They actually issued errata to it that says exile only if it's still in the battlefield as reminder text.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it feels like this blade should have just said give death touch if a creature dies this way, exile it.
Yeah. It's cool though.
Or something.
Like it's an expansion symbol.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. There's 2 arts, technically speaking.
Yep, because there's also the just.
The Dancing Scimitar is also an expansion symbol.
It's true.
I don't care for this blade all that much, to be completely honest.
Me neither. I don't like Sword of Caldra all that much.
It's kind of neat.
Also, its point in the story is pretty stupid.
It really is. It's just kind of Glissa's sword, and then she uses it, and then it's gone.
Yeah, it becomes Caldra, and then it betrays them or something. Like
Memnarch takes control of it.
Oh, right, because of his ability.
And then it explodes.
By itself, it's not particularly interesting.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like honestly, I'd put it pretty low. Like I barely like it. Like I keep on about to say something. And keep on looking lower on the list. I'm like, actually, worse than Banshee's Blade.
Oh, I would put it lower than that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not. That was just a starting point.
Let's start with Heirloom Blade.
I
like it less than Heirloom Blade.
Yeah.
I think I would put it above Mage Slayer.
That's about where I'm at. Like
I would put it above Ashmouth Blade.
No, I'm below Ashmouth Blade.
That's cool. I just like how it's like silver polished.
I like how Ashmouth Blade was grandma's.
Yeah,
I like Neglected Heirloom. I like Sword of Caldra more than Ashmouth Blade, but I like Neglected Heirloom more, so yeah.
It eats a mouse. What could I say? Next on the list, hey, Sword of Light and Shadow.
Yeah. Hey, here we go. Here's something.
So it's got, again, 3 arts. This is one where I think actually the original art is the best.
Yeah, the Dark Seal art in this one's really good. The color on it is
I actually
really nice.
really like the Kaladesh one.
Really?
I don't like the Kaladesh one.
I don't
Part
like
of the reason I like the Kaladesh one is there's flavor text for it that's not on the card. It's in the art book.
What's the flavor text?
I mean, I have to go get the art book.
Well.
But it's basically that's submitted to show how fleeting life actually is, and then the person who submitted is listed as deceased.
That's funny.
So it's like, that's not funny. What's wrong with you?
Well, you know why he died. You know why he died, right? You know why he died? It's because you can't fucking hold the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't. There's no actual hill. It's like it looks like
almost like that's part of the symbol, man.
Oh, but I don't like that.
It sucks.
It sucks.
Wow.
Anyways, like again, the original Dark Seal art.
I really like the Dark Seal art.
The Dark Seal art, like the composition there is just very good. Like the fact that you can barely see the light blade is very good. The way the dark blade just casts the shadow is very good. I like the perspective of how the guy's holding it. I like the way the basket hilt there looks. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the worst of all these swords in terms of actual like use, but it looks cool
overall. It's still pretty alright because
it's very good.
Pro Black is pretty good. I'm sorry.
That is the most useful part of this. Its effect isn't as important.
Yep.
I mean, that's because pro white, pro black is really good.
True.
Mm-hmm. That's basically, unless it's, damage based removal. From
Set me
red.
on fire, my dude.
Yeah.
Oh, also +2/+2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it better or worse than Steel of Godhead?
I think it's not as good as Steel of the Godhead.
I think it's better.
Hmm.
I really do like the art on the Dark Steel version.
Yeah. All
And
right.
then they
I
make-
actually
also-
also put it above Steel of the Godhead, but that's it.
Hey, here's the thing to think about. I don't know if this counts. Keep in mind, there's technically like 4 arts, just because the Judge Griff promo. art
No,
of
that doesn't count. That's just
the art looks browner.
No, it's not. It's just the border. You're looking at a scan of it. It just looks like that because it was also foil.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it better. Do I like it better than
All
Trusty Machete?
I don't like it more than Trusty Machete.
I do.
I just Trusty Machete is always there for you. It's a good
Here's the
machete.
thing. I don't think it's going to beat out Oathkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's where I would put it, be below Oathkeeper.
I wouldn't even put it above Pirate's Cutlass.
Understood, but no.
Solus is all right, but it's not. I don't like it nearly as much as all the other swords.
No,
Yep.
I get you.
Next on the list is Sword of the Ages.
Okay. Well,
That is it's
cool looking.
a.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is, guys. Hey, I know what it is. It's the bottom of this list.
What? Why?
It's just what am I supposed to be doing? Like, what does this do? Like,
Hey, read the ability.
you like.
Actually, read the ability out loud.
Like the sword does nothing. Like it comes into play tapped. So you say, "Here's my sword." Throws it on the ground. Oops. Hold on. Let me scrap down to pick it up. Okay, Jimothy and Jiminy, get over here. All right, I'm going to stab both of you with this sword. The sword will then explode and kill my enemies. Are you good? Oh, wait. Oh, also, you all are going to be erased from existence, so Deathrender can't bring you back to life again, Jiminy. I'm sorry. That's just life.
That's rad.
What is the flavor of this thing? Like, I
You're
realize
using their souls to fire a laser at them.
Like, look, I realize that Legends was like some guy's D&D game that they just stuck in here.
Yeah.
Maybe this worked better, but without getting like the record of Lodos's war, like depiction of how the sword works. I don't care. Like, is this discussed in the novel?
No, it's a sword that absorbs souls and shoots a laser. It's great.
It's not even legendary.
It's like that spell in Dark Souls 2.
But it
3? Whatever.
like I like swords that
All
shoot
that.
lasers. Don't get me wrong, but like no. The fact that
I don't think it's at the bottom because even
not-
then, it's a cool looking sword.
This is a cool looking Spathos.
How long is
had
it?
to- Spathos are not that long. They're reasonably long. They're longer than Gladius's.
So the blade is just slightly ending out frame again.
No, it's longer than that. It's a one-handed actual length sword. It's just not super long. Is all. Short and arming sword. Longer than a short sword. Somewhere in between those two.
I don't like it.
I like
That's
it.
cool.
I like how it looks. I think the effect is neat, but not really a sword thing.
No, it's not useful at all.
Yeah, and like I'm willing to put it down there. It's not the bottom of this list.
It's like a
Yeah, this is
sacrificial
more
blade.
this is more of an artifact than a weapon.
This is like a
Yeah,
sacrificial
that makes
knife more than like a sword.
I mean,
I
a lot of
wouldn't
swords are like that.
It'd be a weird effect to have as a sacrificial knife to start with.
Why you sacrifice some dudes and then you're
You make it
death
the altar,
magic.
obviously.
Yeah,
Or
I'm at least putting it below greatsword, but
Really?
yeah.
but
I'm with
I
you.
think that's basically where I'm putting it.
Hey, let me run this one past you. How about Hone Kopesh is a Kopesh and it's shaped like Bolus's horns.
This
it's
is a
not.
spatha, and it's a pretty good-looking spatha.
Yeah.
Sword of the Ages is a sword that, hey, if I owned this, it would look really cool on my wall. And I would accidentally cut a baby in half with it or something.
I like this more
Yeah.
than Leonin Scimitar.
Wow. No. Disagree.
I wouldn't put it up that high. I
Really?
think its effect is really weird. And
Have we looked at Leonin Scimitar?
I mean, I hate Leonin Scimitar, and I realize what you're trying to do.
What am I trying to do out of curiosity?
You're trying to take advantage of the fact that I hate Leonin Scimitar.
No, because there's other things I could be taking advantage of.
Such as?
I don't know, Mage Slayer?
I mean, I'm fine with Mage Slayer. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't like Mage Slayer. But, I mean, the science happened.
Yeah, it's really ages.
I want to put it below Greatsword. But that's it.
Yeah. Great sword gets it.
Above Greatsword.
Below Great Sword.
Below Greatsword.
All right. Next up. Oh shit! Nissa's staff had a sword in it the whole time.
Nissa, where were you? When did you get this?
Yeah, she's always had it.
She's
Nissa,
making
why
out of
haven't you used
tree magic.
She forgot about it.
She forgot
Okay,
about
like
it.
that.
She forgot about it like she forgot that she was racist. Anyways.
Oh.
She forgot about it because she forgot about how much she loved slugs.
She would never forget that.
That's
They're
true.
her favorite food.
Anyways, Sword of the Animus. That's cool. I like the sword.
I mean,
She
it's
cuts-
got a neat effect, and it's.
The effect is basically just +1/+1, though.
I mean,
And
it
you
also.
It summons trees. When she swings it, like seedlings pop up, like pop.
But is that really the sword, or is that the staff that it's inside of?
It's both.
It's the
It's
sword
both.
because the effect of the sword.
All right.
There's no staff of the animist.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure?
The staff is a card because it has is a thing because it has the sword in it.
Yeah,
Sure.
and occasionally she'll just give it to like some guy, like, "Hey, you stab with this. I'm busy over here. You stab with this."
The blade only glows though if your Zendikar is chosen. Everyone else it still does the job but doesn't glow anymore.
Sure.
I guess. Or maybe Zendikar chooses a lot of random people.
That's true too. I'm willing to bet that.
No, it's just Nissa.
Man, they really should show someone better.
No,
Yeah.
I chose Nissa.
Zendikar does not make good decisions.
I don't
I like-
actually
It
think
worked
very
out
highly-
for it, didn't it?
Yeah,
Eventually.
eventually after it caused the problems in the first place, she
Mhm.
fixed it after making
It
it.
didn't cause the problems. Freaking Sword and Ugin did.
Yeah, but then she showed up afterwards when Soren was trying to fix things, and she smashed that egg, the hedron.
Yeah.
Just
She
smash
she
that.
killed. She basically killed millions of people. I don't
Yeah.
know if there's that many people alive on Zendikar, but there
Look.
probably was. They
No,
This
all
is
no.
died.
really dumb.
Whatever.
Their souls are on her hands. That blood's on her.
I don't
That blood's
actually
on
think
her.
very highly about Sword of the Animist.
I think it's cool.
I usually forget it exists. So.
I think it's
Yeah.
cool. I like the rampy ability of it. It's cool.
It's the sword.
Its ability is fine, but like,
Like it's like
man,
Sword of Body Mind throws wolves. This one throws trees.
it's not as cool as throwing wolves though.
It's not. I'm not claiming that because wolves is a really random specific thing. Don't get me wrong, but
It's also basically just kind of like a rapier.
It's basically a
Like
cane
rapier.
sword.
It's a very thin blade.
cane
It's
swords are
basically-
cool.
cane sword, but in a staff,
Cane
Yeah.
swords are cool.
and they're cool enough, I guess. But like, I don't know. I don't
She's
really think
basically-
about Sword of the Animist at all.
She's basically growing the blade there. I think
Doesn't work that way.
sharp tree wood. You can make a blade out of anything. We've
That's
proven
not, it's
this.
made of metal.
It
Pardon?
works that way in Kaladesh.
It's made of metal.
You can make a hardened blade out of fish.
I
You
mean,
can't
yes,
actually.
you
It
can.
barely cut.
Yeah.
That blade will kill.
Anyway, where do we rate this?
I think it's pretty middle of the back.
Middle of the back or middle of the pack?
Middle of the pack, sorry.
It's a rare. It would be at the very back of the pack.
Middle of the sawback.
I like it better than Hero's Blade. That's
I
about where I
don't.
would put it.
I don't like it more than Mind Swords. I think I would put it above Heirloom Blade.
I'm kind of feeling that. Is it better than Ashmouth Blade?
Not as
Yes.
good as Neglected Heirloom, but better than Mash Blade.
I think
They
it's
are
better
the
than.
same sword, my dude.
I think they're better than Heirloom Blade.
Yeah, so that's where I'm putting it. Like, above
Okay.
Heirloom Blade,
Nope, that checks. All right.
not as good as Mind Swords, which are still dope.
All right.
Next up is Sword of the Chosen.
Hey, this was the first legendary artifact, right?
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
It's a Selenia's sword, I believe.
In planar chaos, Krovax carries the sword.
I like the art of Sword of the Chosen a lot, and its effect is actually pretty alright.
It's okay.
It's fine.
I mean, you need to worry about legendaries, but like it is a reasonable effect for its cost.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
And like you can do it at instant speed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's
fine.
fine, comma, not very good.
Technically, it's a Sarah Angel sword, so
It's okay. It also looks okay. Not
Yeah.
inspiring, but it looks okay. The art as a whole is good, but the sword itself is pretty.
I
it's
mean,
an angel sword. I don't know.
I
what
don't
you
like it at all. Like, I don't like it. Like, I like
Really?
it. I think it's like worse than Lean and Scimitar.
Really? I don't think that at all. I think it's at least
I
better
think-
than Lean and Scimitar. I think it's like around
It's
Nadachi.
mediocre. Like, it does basically nothing. Like, it's bad. Like, it's actively worse than like a use case than Nodachi. And then, like, I don't think it looks as good as Nodachi. Like, the fact that it's
I guess
like an
I'm
Angel's
taking
Blade.
the art as a whole on
Yeah.
that. Maybe it shouldn't be.
Yeah,
no,
like,
that's perfectly legit.
I mean,
I think we are definitely comparing it to Nodachi now, though.
yeah.
sure. I think it's worse than Nodachi.
I think it's around Nadachi. I don't know if it's worse or better, honestly.
I feel like I like it above Prying Blade.
I think I might be okay with that as well.
All right.
A lot of legendary swords just down pretty low.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just your ordinary swords of legend.
All right.
Hey. Oathkeeper and Deathrender are up there.
Yeah. They're not legendary, though. Except for Oathkeeper.
Yeah, okay.
Next on this list is Sword of the Perons or Peruns.
Okay. Parun, yeah.
So I guess this is just a sword that's meant to be for like, hey guys, if you like guilds, have a sword.
It's kind of a ceremonial sword.
It looks
Like crap.
like crap. It looks like it's like
It's ceremonial. I don't know what you want out of it.
I mean, a lot of ceremonial swords that exist are really, really elaborate and like filigreed and all that stuff, and that's cooler than
Please.
making it look weird.
yeah. The ability is neat. Also, like I like this kind of, but it's also overly complex in a way I don't like.
It's basically the leaders holding it and inspiring them. It's kind of like how the Dragon Throne of Tarkir is an equipment.
Sure.
Like, you're not supposed to really be hitting things with this.
Sure, but also this card gives me a headache.
How?
It causes weird board states.
Yeah, like
It does, yes.
I don't like its looks. I'm okay with its effects. I think they're all right, and I like the flavor of it being the leader is using this to like both keep themselves alive because you know can tap or untap it at instant speed, and so they can get the toughness bonus if they're untapped, and or attack better when they're tapped, which they already are if they don't have vigilance. And so on and so
You could
forth.
also use it to, untap shit and do,
yeah
things.
expensively, but yeah, you can do that. You can equip it onto something
Sometimes
else.
you just
and untap
need
it. Yeah.
Oh, surprise blocker.
I do enjoy its effects, but it does cause weird board states.
It does.
That's not really a
I
problem
agree with that 100%.
That's not really a down on for being a sword though.
No. We're rating it as a sword.
Yeah.
It's a ceremonial magic sword, but it is a sword.
At the same
Yeah.
time, I do not like it all how it looks.
I don't like
No,
it at all.
I kind of agree with that, because it doesn't look like any other really Ravnican sword.
It also just looks like it's like actually hard to hold. Like that big blade, that tiny little handle, like the actual position they're holding it just seems
I mean,
fake.
when you consider what a lot of the Peruns are, sure. Angel, vampire, dragon,
It looks
sphinx.
really, really top
demon.
heavy. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Really
Oh,
top heavy.
I mean, you can see more in the background there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like Low.
I'm going with low.
Yeah, but how low?
How low does it
Prying
go?
blade.
I'd put it below prying blade.
It's about where I would put it, though.
I think I would put it below Nodachi. Leaving Pen and Blade and Sword of the Pirates, two similar cards flavorfully right next to each
I
other.
was gonna say, yeah, Pen and Blade. Yeah.
Sure.
I
I
do
like
think
it
I
less
like
than
it.
Pen and Blade. I like it less than Pen and Blade.
I
I
actually
can
think I
go with
like
that.
it more than Pen and Blade.
I think I
Okay.
like it less.
I like its okay. Off of that, I like its mechanics way more than Pen and Blade.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Sure.
But all right, fine.
Next up, it's a Chroma Sword. Sword of Vengeance.
Yeah. That thing gives a lot of effects because it's a chromas.
Turns out a chroma don't have a lot of effects. It the sword.
Mm-hmm. A chroma herself is what, a 3/5, I guess?
Sure.
I guess.
But the moment she has that sword up, yeah, there we go. That chroma's a 5/5, right?
I don't remember.
It's weird that this is like an M11 card originally and not like a future sight card or whatever, or like a time spiral card.
Chroma's a 6/6.
Okay, so she's a 4/6.
Sure, why not?
Sure. But yeah, this is a fine card. I think it's neat. I like the callback.
Yeah.
I think Chroma's a dumb creature, not necessarily because of abilities, but story-wise, the whole
I
thing.
think a chroma story is one of the stupidest things Magic's ever done.
It is
That's totally
really
fair.
dumb. Like, who all is in there? I realize.
Oh, you're thinking of Corona.
Oh, am I?
Corona is made from a chroma, Jessica, who was Phage at the time, and also an old woman and her donkey. named
Oh,
Jessica.
that's right. A Chroma originally was half Panther.
No, Chroma wasn't originally. Okay, so Chroma on her card art only exists like that for maybe the first hour of her existence, and then Phage rots her lower body off, so Ixidor gives her the lower body of a Black Panther, making her a Panther Tar angel with purple hair.
That's really dumb. Wow.
And then also she gets like knives for claws.
Wow.
Anyways, Sword of Vengeance is
Anyway,
cool.
yeah, Sword of the Vengeance as a sword.
it's a pretty cool sword.
It's really big.
It's okay. It is really big.
It's a
This
pretty
thing
great
is
sword.
Really big. Like,
Got a gold tip.
It's magical.
yeah. I don't know. I think it's okay. I don't think it's that great. It's another kind of middle of the road one, if you ask me.
Right.
Baron Sword of Kaldra.
Is it?
Is it? Better than Mage Slayer.
Is it?
I think so. That's me actively disliking Mage Slayer, though.
I mean, this might be me actively disliking the chroma.
See, the weird thing
I
is,
know, it's hard, right?
it's like the sword's fine, and then I think about Chroma, and I'm like,
I also kind of just don't like the design of the sword.
yeah.
It's not that great. It's really...
So where do you want it, Red? What were you saying?
That's what I'm trying to decide.
Like, I kind of see it in the Sword of Caldo range.
I think it's above Mage Slayer, but like that's it myself.
I think it's below Mage Slayer.
I'm fine
I
with
think
that.
I think it's below Flaming Sword.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
The other Akroma has a flaming sword, doesn't she? The Fury one?
I don't think it does. She has flaming wings.
All right. All right, that's fine.
She doesn't even have flaming wings. Her hair just looks like it's on fire.
Now talking about a way better flaming sword. Have
It's
it Sword of War and Peace.
Yeah.
So wet.
Isn't this kind of the worst of these swords, though?
Nah, Light and Shadow is probably the worst of them. This is probably
Yep.
the second worst.
Yep. I mean, you getting life and you hitting them for having cards is pretty good. This is one. This is one of the ones I like almost most aesthetically, but it's less because of the sword. I just like that guy's arm.
Ah,
It's
the
a
weird skeleton metal arm.
Yep. The thing is, I think that's pretty sure that's just a Phyrexian holding that arm.
Yeah.
Even though
Seems like
even though the card itself is like a scars, but this is new Phyrexia, so hey, it was made by the Mirrans, but hey, the new Phyrexians won, so they get to hold the sword now.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it.
Yep.
Also, I like the weird art for the Kaladesh one.
Yeah.
The Kaladesh Inventions art is okay. This one
okay.
is probably my
It
second
looks a
favorite
lot
of them.
more. It definitely looks like an art piece.
It looks like a stained glass sword.
Yeah.
I'm into.
which is
That's
rad.
Good look.
But where do
Yeah.
we put it?
I mean, I don't like it as much as Sword of Fire and Ice. I like it more than Sword of Light and Shadow. I don't like it as much as Oathkeeper, so I feel like it's like right above Sword of Light and Shadow.
I'm with you. Like, unless you have
I
like,
like it below Light and Shadow.
Really?
I think there's just something about the duality of light and shadow in a sword that I like more than a sword of war.
Yeah,
and peace.
I think like flavor wise also it works better. Like the abilities on Light and Shadow feel more Light and Shadow than like This Is War and Peace.
That's actually fair because like the fact of it doesn't really imply to me War and Peace at all.
Yeah.
Though
It's like
I will say,
War and Peace would be killing something and then Swords of Plowsharing it. I don't know.
so which would be a bit silly. I do like the fact that they saved War and Peace for New Phyrexia. It's like, hey, the war is over and we achieved peace in the sense that New Phyrexia won.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's a good grim thing.
Yeah.
All right, next up, it's Tatsumasa.
Tatsumasa, the Dragon's Fang.
I think the sword's cool.
This sword is dope.
It's a sword that turns into a dragon.
Yeah.
It's a sword. It's sword with the spirit of a dragon inside of it.
That's cool.
Turns into a dragon spirit. Turns like it is also you holding that dragon all the time. It's rad.
Do we have
Kind
art of that
expensive,
token?
but
No, it's doesn't have one. I don't think.
Damn it.
I think it just uses a cropped version of the art.
I see.
Let me double check. Actually.
are those like spikes or fangs on the bottom, or are those rings?
I don't know.
The sword, I believe, was actually forged from a dragon's fang. So they watched Inuyasha when they were world building Kamigawa. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't.
Dude.
No.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ugh.
You're making me like this less.
Oh no, it does have art. You want to see the dragon?
Yes.
I would like to see the dragon. Yes,
I'm gonna
please.
Put it in the chat here for y'all.
Yes, please.
Please share so I can share it with everybody else when I edit this video. Unless I forget,
Mhm.
which case people are going to yell at me. Please don't.
Tatsumasa, the dragon's. Man, that actually does make me like this sword a lot less.
Oh, wait, never
that
mind.
dragon's pretty cool though.
That dragon
Yeah.
looks dope as hell. I'm into it.
Yeah,
Never mind.
I'm
Alright.
into
into
it
it.
again.
Yep, I'm into it.
Okay,
dragon
so
looks
you
cool as
throw
hell.
that dragon at people sometimes, and that is cool.
You
Yeah.
basically you get enough mana to say, "I summon you, Tatsumasa."
I
Screw
summon
something up.
Shenron.
And then you throw the sword on the ground, and it
Mhm.
turns into a snake.
And then when the dragon gets beat up, Tatsumasa, the blade, you just get it comes back to your hand, basically.
Yeah,
All right.
pretty cool.
All right. That I think we have to compare it to the other Kamigawa legendary sword,
Oathkeeper?
Oathkeeper first. Do you like it more or less than Oathkeeper?
I mean, Oathkeeper's got the Daisho going on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I like them similarly. I think I like Oathkeeper more.
Tatsumasa has a dragon directly in the blade.
That's
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, if I could tie them, I would.
the dragon
Yeah, but
looks
that's
very.
how it works.
Also, the dragon looks cool, and I can say that dragon looks cool because that dragon is a sword.
Yeah, all right.
I think it's better than Sword of the Meek, but that's about it.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Sure, I can live.
Yep. Tatsumasa, the dragon's fang.
Up.
Also Tatsumasa, the dragon.
It's so hard to drag all this stuff at once because you get down to like the top, and it's like, no, keep going. I'll deal with this.
Okay, well, up next we got the biggest sword of them all, World Slayer.
It's not actually really big. It's actually just foreshortening and everything.
Yes, but big in effect. It is the splashiest
Oh,
of
the
all.
fact that when you stab
equipment
somebody
effects.
with it, it explodes.
This is probably the
kills
single
everybody.
splashiest effect of all equipment.
This is
I don't know.
it's very silly, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I really like how silly this is as an effect. It does more than wrath. What is it? Armageddon? No, that's the land's one, right?
No, it's everything explodes except for World Slayer.
Achroma's Vengeance? Is that one? Well, no,
No,
it
'cause
specifically
that-
hits all permanents. Yeah, so this would kill planeswalkers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's cute, especially if you make it a Lich's phylactery for like a phylactery lich or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good idea.
Flavor text is fun too.
Mhm.
Yep.
Try looking in craters. Man, World Slayer is cool as hell.
Yeah.
Just wrath effect on hitting a dude, killing the guy who equipped it too. It kills that dude because this thing, you swing it and a tactical nuke does go off in their face.
It's kind of a miserable card to actually play against.
Yeah, that's true.
You're just saying that because I always plan for it.
And
No, it's just as a card is like, yeah, sure, I guess I wanted to play this game again. Whatever. You know?
yeah,
Oh,
I
I
mean,
know.
it does
I
reset.
use it, remember?
It resets the game basically. So, as other than life totals,
And World
It
Slayer.
is-
Right?
it is a cool thing though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's neat. Like, I like it better than... Well, let's start with here. Do you like it better than Sword of God, Steel the Godhead? I'd say so.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
I like it better than...
I like that the World Slayer is kind of just a sword. I mean, it's got the blue fire going on, but that is just a pretty standard design
Yep.
going
I think
on.
that's just the energy in the blade and the actual fires, reflected off just the melting steel.
Okay. Oh, so just the sword itself is just
'Cause
it's
it's-
still the sword.
Yeah, it's stabbed into the, mirroring. So
Yeah.
is it better than Tatsumasa?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think that Tatsumasa is cooler than World Slayer.
I think
Is
it's
it better
worse
than
than
Sword
Sword
of
of
the
the Meek. I think it's worse.
I think it's better than Deathrender though.
It
I don't
does
know.
murder the crap out of it. Yeah, I could see it as number 10.
I don't know. Like, I like Death Render because, like,
Death Render's cool, but also World Slayer.
sure,
Yeah.
but
Death Render, World Slayer.
I
But
can't
Death-
follow up World Slayer with Eggman
Death-
wants
Death-
the Kaiser Roll with a little butter bowl.
Death Render gets back up like Janiel.
It does bring back Janiel, Jimothy, Jiminy, and Jamantha, but World Slayer makes sure all of those are dead. It gets them in the graveyard in the first place.
You're right. In fact, I hate all those guys. Those guys suck. I'm glad. I hate all those guys, and I'm glad they're dead. Next on this list, or last on this list, even the final sword. My God, boy, what a journey! It's Zelion sword.
Who
Man, I
remembers
don't-
Zelion Sword?
Who remembers Zelion Sword?
I
This
don't.
card is-
Who cares
Come on,
about Zelion sword?
really? Who cares about Zelion Sword aside from you?
But it gives +2/+0.
Yeah. For 3.
Yeah.
What was the sword on this list that had this almost this exact same ability? I can't even remember at this point because it was very
Let's
generic and
zero.
old. Like there was one
Man,
where
I
you can
don't know.
choose to untap it.
Rune Sword?
Was it? Yeah, it was Rune Sword. This is is it the same ability as Rune Sword?
It costs half of what Rune Sword costs.
So it's a strictly better Rune Sword. Okay, let me
it
run
doesn't
this
look
past.
as cool as Rune Sword, though.
Let me run this past you. Above Rune Sword, no, below Rune Sword. This angel sucks.
This angel
But
does
it's
suck.
a statue.
The
The
statue of this angel
of an
sucks.
angel sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
The sword doesn't. Look, I'm not
Okay,
one to neg on people's art prowess. I'm sure this art, like the actual angel or statue, looks fine.
Scott Kirshner's great. Now we hear nothing against him.
I think the sword looks dumb.
The sword is... Honestly, the sword looks like it was half finished.
Which I guess could be a
card
perfect.
art from 1994.
I know, but look at it. It does.
This card
Look.
art is probably older than you.
It isn't. It is 1 year younger.
You disgust me.
All right, look, Zelion Sword is pretty okay. It is card wise, I guess it's a strictly better Rune Sword, but it doesn't look as dope as Rune Sword.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so directly below Rune Sword.
I'd put it probably below Greatsword.
Yeah, give
Okay.
a great sword one more victory.
Sure.
I'd put it below Sword of the Ages. Sword of the Ages looks cool. Like, I'm not going to use either of them, but Sword of the Ages looks cool.
Okay, let me run this past you. Blowhorn Khopesh, because it's a Khopesh.
Wow.
You know, I'm actually also okay with that.
That's
but
a strong argument.
That's where it stays, though. It's not as bad as Insult Scimitar.
All
Which
right.
spits on the memory of Dancing Scimitar, which is still the number one.
Is it really?
Yes.
Nice. I love science.